D'Angelo Russell, Nick Young thing happened on your watch?
It's very interesting. I never thought we'd come to the day where we have to have team rules about don't secretly film others, don't date other people's girlfriends, wives. It's just, to me, like, it's just bizarre. I don't think it's as easy as an apology given and an apology accepted. I think this was so egregious that you've caused multiple problems, not only now, but going forward for Nick Young, the level of trust. I think it's a long-standing issue. I'm not really sure how you resolve it.
Yeah, Byron Scott said that, it's got to be resolved in that room. And I would guess that the team has to resolve it. But if you're the coach and you see what happened with Randall the other day where he just froze out D'Angelo Russell, I mean, if it goes onto the court, the coach has to get involved, I think.
Well, I think it would have been warranted that there would have been a team suspension.
Right.
But you can't also tolerate players taking matters into their own hands, like not passing him the ball. I didn't know that occurred. That's news to me. But if it did occur, that can't be tolerated either. When you go on the court, everything has to be about the team. It has to be about winning, subjugating your own wants and desires for what's best for the team. But I think certainly a team suspension, and I think you could have made the case for the rest of the season, would have been very, very understandable by the team.
Now, they may end up trading him. Stephen A. Smith suggested maybe they trade him to Philadelphia. If you're a coach of a team that trades for him, do you have to address the elephant in the room, or do you believe that just a new clubhouse, a new dressing room might just be the trick?
Well, I think you have to try to understand now these players are young, but it is a league that is unforgiving in many ways, but it's a very forgiving in many others. So I think you have to try to figure out if this is a one-shot lost, where he lost his mind, or if it's an ongoing character issue. And those are hard to determine until you've actually coached someone. And so, listen, all these decisions are really difficult.
How tough is it for a coach, Jeff, to have a guy who's supremely talented but is just a bad dude? I mean, do you have to hold your nose and deal with it?
Well, I don't know how many great players are bad guys. I'm not sure you can lack basketball character and be a great player. You can do boneheaded things, and I'm not sitting here knowing, I don't know if D'Angelo Russell just made a incredibly poor choice, or if he's if this is an ongoing lack of decision-making. Only if you're there every day. But, listen, you can't be great if you can't unite and inspire your teammates. And when you make decisions like this, it's the antithesis of uniting and inspiring. You're dividing your group.
The Knicks right now are playing basketball games that really don't mean anything other than maybe assessing the talent that's on the court and also assessing Kurt Rambis. How, as a fan, as somebody on the outside, how do I know if they're being well coached? Because they may not win the games because they just don't have enough talent maybe to go out and win. But what are some of the indicators to let me know that Rambis might be doing a good enough job to be someone that maybe can land this full-time next year?
Well, it is hard. It's very hard to know if a team is being taught well on the outside. That's why you have to trust what guys like Phil Jackson and Steve Mills, what they decide, because you're not there every day to seeing what the instruction is. But I think what you do want to look at as a fan is this team improving? Are they playing hard throughout the 48-minute game? Do they play unselfishly? Are individual players showing improvement? I think those things give you an insight into the buy-in. But it truly is hard to judge from the outside just how well coached a team is unless you're there on an everyday level.